Let's now bring in CNN senior international correspondent Frederick Pleitgen in Damascus, Syria. Fred, just a few hours ago, you were actually in Aleppo where this alleged bombing happened. What did Syrian officials have to say?
Well, it's interesting, Jake. They didn't say anything about any American warplanes that allegedly might have been in the air there. And I was in two places in Aleppo. I was on the front line right in the city center. And then later on, I was actually in the north of Aleppo, which is actually the main place where the Syrian armed forces are currently conducting that offensive. Of course, what they're trying to do is they're trying to encircle the rebel-held areas of Aleppo and work their way all the way up to the Turkish border. And while we were in both of those areas, there were actually warplanes in the air at all times, or almost all times that we were there. You could also every once in a while hear thuds from what appeared to be bombs being dropped, but there was no one on the ground who would have said that they had spotted an American plane or that they believed that there had been American planes conducting bombings inside Aleppo, Jake.
Interesting. While you were in Aleppo, you also gained exclusive access to the Syrian government front lines as the pro-Assad Syrian army, backed by Russia, is trying to amp up its attacks to crush the forces, the rebel forces. What did you see? What were some of the most horrific things that you witnessed there?
Well, it was all horrific, and I have to say that the front line in Aleppo, inside of the city, goes right through the old town, which is one of the most historic places in the world, really, and a lot of that has been reduced to rubble. But what we also saw is a very confident Syrian army, and they also made no secret of the fact that the reason why they're so confident is because they now have that support from Russia. Let's have a look.
Years of urban combat have laid waste to Aleppo's old town. Syrian army snipers scan the terrain for possible movement on the other side. We're right on the front line in the Syrian government's offensive against the opposition, and the soldiers here tell us they still frequently see rebels on the other side, but they also say they often pick them off from the sniper's nest. This soldier tells me morale has never been higher. Thanks to God, everything here is under control, he says. Our fingers are on the triggers, ready to destroy the rebels. Bashar al-Assad's forces have made major gains in the Aleppo area in recent weeks, while the opposition rebels say they're simply being slaughtered. But for years, this battlefield was in a stalemate, the front line right around Aleppo's ancient citadel. As Syrian and Russian warplanes hover overhead, the commander knows who to thank for the newfound momentum. It's only a matter of months now till we win, he says. Thanks to the Russian support with their airstrikes flown from the Syrian airfield, we will defeat the rebels once and for all. Aleppo was Syria's largest and one of its most historic towns. Tourists from all over the world used to flock to the old town before it was engulfed by Syria's brutal civil war. The old town of Aleppo is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Some of these buildings are hundreds, if not thousands of years old, and now, as you can see, most have been completely destroyed and burned out. But now Assad's troops believe they are on the verge of a decisive victory. The commander warns the U.S. not to interfere. We are steadfast, he says. You cannot defeat the Syrian army because we are determined to win, and we're loyal to President Assad. Amid this divided and destroyed city, Syrian government forces believe they're dealing a crushing blow to the opposition, one that could end this 5-year civil war that's destroyed so much more than just the landscape.
And Jake, there were a couple of other things that really stood out as well. One was the really horrible state that many of the people were in there in Aleppo, not only the ones on the rebel-held areas, but also the ones in government-held areas. Really psychologically, this war that has now been going on for 5 years, and Aleppo at the whole time was really on the front line, one of the places where the most horrific battles took place. It's really taking a toll on the people there. And the other thing that really stood out to us as well was that this is a Syrian government offensive. There's a lot of Syrian army troops, but there is also a lot of influence by Hezbollah. There's a lot of pictures of the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, that you see in many places, and Iran as well. Many people tell us that they are very grateful to the help that they've received, the government, pro-government people that they've received from Iran. Also, a lot of Iranian flags hanging near the front